He's a Florida man, Lou.
Yeah. Good morning. How's everybody doing? Happy Saturday. Welcome to week 5. Welcome to week 5, 2023 college football season. Actually got underway Thursday night. Couple of games last night, too. We'll take a look at the results of those here in a second, but I appreciate everybody tuning in today. Welcome to the College Football Kickoff Show, Week 5 edition. Got a good one planned for today. College Game Day live in Duke, or at Duke. Where's Duke? Durham. Live at Duke in Durham. Yeah. Going to be a great day of college football today. Going to be a great day of college football today. We got some good games. How's everybody doing? Appreciate y'all tuning in today. Let's take roll and see who's here. Rick E. Sonia. Jaden. Octavian.
He's a Florida man, Lou.
Yeah, Florida man. He's a Florida man. Clem Tyner. Carter, Little Whitey, Jay Shipes, SC Country, UJ Homer, James Moore. Shout out Waycross, Georgia. Yeah, shout out Waycross, Georgia. Jared Schrodinger's cat. GF Sports, Pastor Dave. Sharice has LSU 35, Ole Miss 24. I like that one, Sharice. I like LSU in that game, too. We're going to take a look at all of today's games, of course. Kevin the Bacon. What's up, buddy? Billy. Pastor Dave. Slim Shady Canes, present and accounted for. Bread Pit. Captain Trips. Jack Frome, live in Alabama, is Jack Frome. Good morning, Mr. Frome. D. Taylor. Broski Bear. What's up, buddy? Broski, aren't you a Penn State man? Or am I just totally off base there? Am I remembering that wrong? Why do I think that? Floby. Bama man. Cadillac, Christian Russell, Ramon Jordan. Great morning, Lou. We got some effing college ball today. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. Some great games today. We're going to take a look at the schedule here in a second. Joshua Dixon, Brunswick, Georgia. Okay. Brunswick, Georgia. Down there near the Florida line and that. Yeah. Yeah. Broski says, yes, big Penn State fan. All right, Broski. All I want is credit for being on the train early. That's it. Where did I have Penn State in my preseason poll? 3, 4, something like that? Uncle Lou high on Penn State from day one. Lou does this every year. He did it with the Penn State. They're not any good. First of all, no, I don't do that every year. Second of all, Penn State is good, too. Jacob James, Norman, Oklahoma. Okay. All right. I understand. Uncle Lou's millionth viewer, Gazelle's son, says Michigan. Not sure if in Michigan, picking Michigan, or just typing Michigan. Don't know. Who do Mizzou play today? Who do they play? Who do Mizzou play? Clemson's 10-2 season starts now. Son, there is a 0% chance Clemson goes 10-2, sir. 0. Harvey Updike did nothing wrong. Boy, don't tell the Barner that. They get really mad when you're talking about that. They get really mad when you're talking about that. Coffee County, Georgia. All right. All right. All right, all right, all right. Uncle Lou's been to Coffee County approximately one time, and I think I was a junior in high school. I think it was my junior year in high school. We played Coffee County on the road in Coffee County. And we beat them in some kind of a weird 9-3 or 10-6. It was some kind of weird low-scoring game. Any upsets, Lou? Yes, every single Saturday, sir. Every single Saturday. Hitting the thumbs up will cause growth in length and girth, says D. Taylor. Plus, just tuning in to Uncle Lou on a daily basis will lower your cholesterol. Now, that's been scientifically proven. Not medically proven yet. We're working on that, but it has been scientifically proven. Uncle Lou, Dogs 42, Auburn 10. That would make me extremely happy. Because Georgia winning a game like this, 42-10, is what Georgia would do last year or the year before when they were a national title-worthy team. And I've yet to really see a national title-worthy performance from Georgia this year. Not that I'm not happy with beating UT Martin, Ball State, and UAB by 30 and 40 points, but it's hard to look at a game like that against a group of five and go, yeah, now that's what we need to do to win it all. We've only got the one Power 5 matchup to go by with Georgia, and you know, obviously I'm happy with a win in the end, but 24-14 or whatever over South Carolina, nothing about that game jumps out at you and says that's a team that can win it all. 42-10 over Auburn would be an impressive score today. Curtis says 35-10 Dogs. Ramon Jordan is here. King Brian, the two-time. David Burke. Jonathan Miller. Yeah. Anyone wants to know how to drastically lower their LDL cholesterol, let me know. Speaking from experience. Well, I already told you. Just tune in to Uncle Lou every day. It'll lower your cholesterol and make you smarter, which is the goal. So, you don't have to wait on Broski to tell you. I'm already telling you. Clemson might lose 2 back-to-back games. Damn, Taters are down bad. Hope Pete is okay. Pete'll be fine. Pete'll be fine. Southern Cal might score 56 or more in this. Okay, all right. We took roll. I told you good morning in that. You guys know the deal, but welcome to the college football kickoff show. Every Saturday morning at 9 a.m. during the college football season, we do this here show. The streaming schedule coming up for today, the game streams. The Patreon people have voted. Their votes have been counted. Obviously, some did mail-in votes. Some voted multiple times. Several dead people voted per usual. And 330 won the poll on Patreon. So the Patreon stream today will be at 3:30. I'm going to stream on YouTube at noon for all the early games. I might try to stream the primetime games tonight after the Patreon stream at 3:30. I'm just going to see how it goes today, how I feel really. If I feel like I can do another one, I will. If I don't live stream tonight during the primetime games, don't worry. I'll be sitting right back there watching all the primetime games and uploading videos constantly during the primetime games. So either way. What? Let's keep it down in there. That was a lot of noise making. Thank you. Trying to conduct business in here. Where were we? Yeah. Oh, so yeah, streaming on YouTube for all the noon games. Patreon at 3:30. So, yeah, most of you know by now how that works. Just the link to the Patreon page is in the description of this video if you want to check it out. But at about 3:15, I post a link over on my Patreon page. You'll see it when you go there at 3:15. Just click the link, and it takes you to a live stream for all the 3:30 games. And noon on YouTube. Noon on YouTube. All right, so what are we going to do today? Well, we're fixing to pull up the schedule of games. We're going to go through it. We're going to figure out who's playing, when are they playing, what time, what channel, what do we need to watch, when do we need to watch it. We're going to start with the noon games and run all the way through to prime time games. We're going to pull up all the latest odds for today. Where can we make some money betting on these games? Or lose some money, maybe? I don't know. We'll take a look at some of the latest lines, odds, all that kind of stuff. Any breaking news? It looks like Shiloh Sanders is not playing today for Colorado. So take that for whatever it's worth. I don't know. Cormani McLean maybe is playing. I don't know. No Travis Hunter, no Shiloh Sanders. I don't know. I don't know. We're going to talk about food today, too. One of my favorite parts of the Saturday morning show. We're going to talk about what we're all eating today for our college football tailgates or house parties or whatever you have going on. Are you grilling out? Are you ordering in? Are you cooking a meal? You're just doing snacks and finger foods today? We'll talk about all that per normal. And the real reason you're all here, coming up at the end of the show around 10:45, the rigged wheel. That's right. The rigged wheel is back. Shout out to Carolina Jackpot, by the way. He won big last week. He won big. Nobody won the week before. And when no one wins, the prize money rolls over to the following week. So Jackpot last week had a chance not only to double his money, but then to win the prize money from the previous week, should he pick his game right. And guess what? Jackpot picked his game right. That's right. He turned, I don't know, I forget exactly how much he sent in. He sent in somewhere between, I think he sent in 10 or 11, I think it was $10, and he won like 45. Amazing. Unbelievable, too. Unbelievable. All he had to do was pick a game right. That's it. That's it. And he turned $10 into $45. It's unbelievable. Jackpot might be the smartest, not just the smartest college football YouTuber. Jackpot might be the smartest human being on the planet. No money to roll over this week since Jackpot won it all last week, but you can still double your money. The rigged wheel coming up at the end of the show around 10:45 or 11. If you don't know what that is, any Cash App or PayPal that you send in during today's show will get your name added. Where is it? Right here. We'll get your name added to this here rigged wheel. Your name. Your name here. See? Right there. Then we spin the wheel. I wonder who's going to win. What name is it going to land on? Well, it's going to land on your name here. Congratulations, your name here. You see how easy that is? Any Cash App or PayPal. Any Cash App or PayPal gets your name added to the wheel. At the end of the show, we spin the wheel. You pick a game against the spread. You get it right. I send you back whatever you donated to the channel times 2. Times 2. That's right. It's literally that easy. It's literally that easy. It does have to be Cash App or PayPal. I can't do the giveaways on the Super Chats. The link to the Cash App and the PayPal are in the description of the video, but I will post it in the comments section. Just some people say, oh, what is the description of the video? I won't watch you. I won't watch you. Yes, you do. Like a fucking religion, you watch me. Like it's your fucking religion, you watch me. You're watching right now. There's no doubt about it. You're watching right now. There's the Cash App and there's the PayPal. Shout out to my boys over at Soft and Balls, too. Had Lou on their mind the other day. I was always on your mind. What's that Willie Nelson song? I was always on your mind. Yeah. I was always on your mind. Spooky always on your mind. Spooky version. Spooky version. America. You gotta love it, don't you? You gotta love it. All right. So we will add all the names to the wheel at the end of the show. I'm not gonna spend the majority of the show going back and forth between PayPal and Cash App and adding names to the wheel every 5 minutes. So don't worry if you send a PayPal or a Cash App. I'm sure it came in. I'm sure we got it. At the end of the show, I'll go through them one by one. I'll call each one out so you know your name got on the wheel. I'll show the wheel. You'll see your name, the whole deal. Any Cash App, any PayPal, get your name on the rigged wheel. We'll spin it and try to give some money away at the end of the show. It's a great way to help support the show and the channel. There you go. And hit the thumbs up. 178 people in here this morning. Good morning, by the way. But only 71 thumbs up. I think we can do a little better than that. Great games today. And we're getting ready to take a look at them. Here we go. Let's wrap up yesterday and Thursday. Not much on Thursday. Western Kentucky did beat Middle Tennessee State. Tulsa over Temple. Jacksonville State over Sam Houston in overtime. Yes. And last night, a disappointing game. What in the world has happened to Utah's offense? I know Cam Rising's out. I know several of their starters are out. Here's the deal. That was impressive in week 1 when Utah beat Florida with all those starters out, okay? Now it's week 5. Everyone has starters out. So it's hard to feel bad for any team in particular. Everyone is missing people now. Utah's offense has fallen off the face of the earth. It's completely disappeared. They will be on the Your Season Is Over video tomorrow. Just an embarrassing offensive performance now 2 weeks in a row from Utah. Utah won last week at home over UCLA 14-7 and only scored one offensive touchdown. Utah had a pick six first series of the game and went up 7-0. In the next 59 minutes, they scored one touchdown and won 14-7. Last night, they get beat by DJ Ugabadoogie and the Oregon State Beavers. Leave it to Beav, 21, Utah 7. Just an embarrassingly pitiful performance from Utah offensively. They have become the Iowa of the Pac-12. I mean, it doesn't make me happy to say that. I mean, nobody likes making fun of Utah. I mean, come on. You know, they're usually like a good story every year, you know. Utah's like the little engine that could. You know, they don't have any talent, not any real talent. Not from a talent rankings perspective or recruiting perspective. They get a handful of good players. But they just keep chugging up that hill. Well, this year they didn't make it. Stalled out. No offense. Blown transmission, week 5. Blown transmission. Louisville beat NC State in what ended up being a really good game. a really good game. NC State was up 10-0 over Louisville in that one. And Louisville comes all the way back, wins 13-10. BYU hangs on to beat Cincinnati 35-27. Shout out Emory Jones. Another amazing loss for our buddy Emory Jones there. So, there you go. That's your Thursday, Friday recap. On to today's games. Chronological order, starting with the noon games. Again, I will be live streaming on YouTube on this channel at noon. We will hang out and watch and discuss all of these early games. And, man, we got some good ones. Penn State on the road at Northwestern should be another easy win for Penn State, who you can make a pretty clear-cut case that they look like the best team in the Big Ten through the first month of the season. Their defense is unbelievable. Drew Allar, I think, will get better as the season goes along and he gains more experience. They've got a dominant ground game. They look like a really good team. Destroyed Iowa last week on the road at Northwestern today. Noon, Big Ten Network. Southern Cal at Colorado. Another euthanizing being broadcast on live TV. Supposedly, this is going to be like the Grammy Awards on the sideline at Colorado today. We'll see. There's been a lot of talk this week about a bunch of big-name people showing up there for this game to watch Colorado get absolutely destroyed by Southern Cal, which is what's going to happen. We'll see. We'll see. You know, I haven't seen, I don't know how many of y'all remember this. I guess it's going to depend on your age. But as far as all these celebrities and things showing up at Colorado home games, who remembers seeing something like that in the past with another team? Who remembers that? Southern Cal in the early and mid-2000s. Southern Cal home games in the early and mid-2000s looked like the red carpet of the Oscars. That was back, I believe, when Snoop Dogg was pretending to be a Southern Cal fan. I think now he's pretending to be Snoop Dogg used to pretend to be a Southern Cal fan. Then he became a UCLA fan. I believe now he's pretending to be a Colorado fan. Shout out to Snoop Dogg. He don't love them hoes, but Hugh Freeze does. But, yeah, Southern Cal was like this in the early to mid-2000s under Pete Carroll. Like, you'd be watching a Southern Cal game on TV. The camera would show a sideline shot. It'd be like Tom Cruise, Will Ferrell, and, like, just some random hot lady or something on the sideline. That's how it's becoming at Colorado now. Noon on Fox for that one. Florida on the road at Kentucky. This is a tough game to pick. I picked, in my preseason predictions, my team-by-team predictions, I have Kentucky winning this game. But I just have not been impressed really at all by Kentucky this season. Devin Leary is not playing well. Their quarterback, he's only completing about 58% of his passes. I think he's got 8 touchdowns and either 4 or 5 interceptions. Not a good ratio there. Now, it is a home game for Kentucky. The crowd will be wild. Florida didn't look good last week offensively. Against Charlotte, only managed 1 touchdown, kicked 5 field goals, won 22-9 or 22-7, whatever it was. But Florida does play good defense. Kentucky's going to have to play their best game of the year. Nothing I've seen from Kentucky so far this year tells me they're beating Florida. Florida's looked like a better team. So that's why I picked Florida in a close one in my prediction video this week. But I do think this could be a really, really good game. These two teams have played each other close the majority of time over the last 6 or 7 years. I think Kentucky's even won 2 in a row. Is that right? I think Kentucky's won 2 in a row in this series and 3 out of 5. Is that right? And even the couple of losses they have, the games tend to be close lately for these two teams. So that may end up being the best noon game in terms of fourth quarter excitement. Penn State's going to blow out Northwestern, I think. I don't expect the Colorado-Southern Cal game to be very competitive. But this Florida-Kentucky game could be a good one, 12 o'clock on ESPN. Again, I'll be streaming on YouTube for all these noon games. So if you're going to be home watching these noon games, come back to the channel at noon and hang out. Let's watch these football games. They're going to be some good ones. Texas A&M on the road at Arkansas. Another tough one to pick here. Arkansas almost pulled off the upset last week against LSU, and that's probably the best game they've played all year, was that loss to LSU. Arkansas is another team that just hasn't been that impressive to me this season so far. Again, the best they've looked is probably that loss to last week to LSU. Texas A&M won last week against Auburn 24-10, but Connor Wegman is out for the year, their quarterback. So, it's Max Johnson time again now for Texas A&M, Jimbo Fisher and Bobby Petrino. We'll see if they can get anything going offensively against a pretty tough Arkansas team. That could be an interesting game. Clemson at Syracuse, 12 o'clock ABC. Can Clemson finally get a Power 5 win? That's the only question here. Can Clemson? We know they're going to win the stats. We've heard all about that. It's all we hear about Clemson is their stats against Duke and their stats against Florida State. They won this stat. They won that stat. They had time of possession. They won average yards per attempt on second downs when there was less than 5 yards to go, but more than 2 yards. Just every weird stat imaginable they can find that Clemson won. They just, the fucking stat champion of the world, but unfortunately they can't. They're winless against the Power 5. On the road at Syracuse, they're about a 6 or a 7 point favorite, depending on where you look. Again, we'll look at all the odds here in a few minutes, but Syracuse is undefeated. They have a quarterback that kind of reminds me of Riley Leonard at Duke. I'm not sure he's as good as Riley Leonard at Duke, but Garrett Schrader is his name, I believe, for Syracuse. And like Riley Leonard, he's got the ability to run around, hurt you with his legs. 3rd and 6, he can get you 7 yards, that kind of thing. So we'll see. Clemson at Syracuse. How many turnovers will Clemson have today? Clemson's turned the ball over every single week. Every single week. They never mention that stat when they're talking about how dominant Clemson is in the stats and all their losses. They never mention the turnovers. Interesting. Or the score, for that matter. 2 things you'll never hear Clemson fans talk about: turnover ratio and final score. Every other stat they've got memorized. It's weird. I think it's weird. That's about it for the early games. Then coming up at 3:30, live on Patreon today at 3:30 for all the Patreon members. I'll post a link about 3:15 over on the Patreon page. Just head on over there, click the link. We will hang out and watch all these 3:30 games. Georgia at Auburn, 3:30 CBS, Georgia's first road game of the year. Carson Beck's first road start of his career. Georgia's about a 2-touchdown favorite. Auburn's got no offense at all. 2 or 3 weeks in a row, they've passed for under 100 yards. Peyton Thorne has not worked out, the transfer QB from Michigan State. Robbie Ashford still doesn't know what he's doing as a quarterback because, well, he's not a quarterback, but for whatever reason, Auburn makes him play quarterback. Now, Auburn's defense has played pretty well the majority of the year, and I do think this will be the best defense Georgia has played so far this season, with all due respect to my buddies over in South Carolina. I do think Auburn's defense is better than South Carolina's. So, for whatever that's worth, we'll see. Georgia has yet to cover a spread this season. They are 3-0-1 against, or 0-3-1 against a spread. They had a push in, I believe, the Ball State game. They were like a 42-point favorite and won 45-3. Won by 42. So that was a push. Did not cover the spread in the other 3 games. 14 to a 14.5 point favorite. Again, we'll look at all the lines in a second. But I actually think Georgia can cover today because Auburn's offense is so bad. I have a hard time understanding how Auburn's going to move the ball on Georgia. The crowd there does worry me. 2 things specifically. Early in the game, right, because the crowd will be juiced up, ready to go, loud. This is a tough place to play when the crowd's into the game. And then the start of the third quarter, is Auburn still in the game at the start of the third quarter? Are they winning? If Auburn is winning at halftime or even within one score at halftime, then the third quarter, I think, start of the third quarter could be dangerous too in terms of the crowd and that. We'll see. But Georgia at Auburn, 3:30 on CBS. Michigan at Nebraska, the Nate the Great Bowl. He's a two-teamer. He's a Michigan man and a Nebraska man. Michigan should win that one easily, I would expect. Kansas at Texas, I think, could be an interesting game today. Kansas is between a 16 or an 18-point underdog. We'll look at the latest lines in a second, but that number's moved around between 16 and 18 this week. I do think Texas wins the game. Indiana at Maryland. I like Maryland there. Indiana's not any good. Maryland above average. They're not on the level of the Big Three in the Big Ten East, but they're probably next in line after that. Illinois at Purdue. I never pick Purdue because they're not any good, so give me Illinois there. Bowling Green at Georgia Tech. Tennessee not the only one dusting off the gimmicks this weekend. Georgia Tech wearing black uniforms today with glow-in-the-dark numbers for a 3:30 game. Is that not the most Georgia Tech thing ever? Ever. First of all, even if you play at night, the numbers aren't going to glow because of the stadium lights. It's not like you're playing in the dark, even if you're playing at night. But, you know, some stadiums do the thing where they turn the lights off, makes the field dark, and they have a little LED light show or whatever they do. If that was the case at night, maybe you would see Georgia Tech's uniforms glowing. I don't know. The numbers glow on the uniform. They're black jerseys with glow-in-the-dark numbers. But this is a 3:30 game, nerd. What the fuck are you doing? I'm sorry, that doesn't make any sense. That doesn't make any sense. Is Sea-Dog in here? Or Wreckman? Or any other nerd that can answer for this? Why would you wear glow-in-the-dark uniforms for a 3:30 afternoon game? I don't understand. I mean, I don't understand why Tennessee's wearing gimmick uniforms either, but it's Tennessee. They do it every fucking week. You know, this is Tennessee. This is the 5th game of the year, and Tennessee's 5th uniform. I mean, why? Why? And with the Georgia Tech, who gives a shit? They wear black uniforms, but I don't understand the glow in the dark. You like the shirt? Yeah, I appreciate it. Yeah. Head on over to the Uncle Lou t-shirt store and you can buy yourself one. This is one of the best-selling shirts of all time on the Uncle Lou t-shirt store, by the way. Poverty since 1998. It's amazing. If you're watching on your phone, I think there's a link to the t-shirt store right underneath there, right? I think you just click that and it takes you there. Yeah. Anyway, let's get back to these games. I'm just going off on Georgia Tech. Going to dark uniforms for a 3:30 in the afternoon game is absolute. It's not even that it's poverty. It's just humiliating. Why wouldn't you save the glow-in-the-dark uniforms for a night game? I don't know. I don't understand. I don't understand. Let's move on. Houston at Texas Tech. I'm going to take Texas Tech, I guess. Baylor at UCF. I'm actually going to take UCF. I think Goose Malzahn, our old buddy Goose Malzahn, gets a win today. Ex-Auburn coach Goose Malzahn gets a win. Current Auburn coach Hugh Freeze, of course, getting a loss. Unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. Missouri at Vandy, 4 o'clock. I mean, would it be nice for Uncle Lou if Vandy won? Yeah. I'm still got my fingers crossed that Vandy finds some sort of miracle path to 4 wins, although it doesn't look like it's going to happen. I got Mizzou in that one. Damn it. Moving on to the primetime games, or early evening games, starting at 6 o'clock with LSU on the road at Ole Miss. I don't think Ole Miss can keep this close. First of all, you already know I'm not a believer in Lane Kiffin. I think he's the most overrated coach in the country. Pitiful performance last week on the road against a Bama team that was just wobbling. I mean, just waiting on somebody to deliver the knockout blow. Lane Kiffin shows up, rolls over, and lets Alabama rub their belly for 3 hours. But that's what Lane Kiffin does. All he does is lose big games. That's it. That's all. That's it, and that's all. I think LSU wins on the road at Ole Miss. I don't think it'll be particularly close. Oregon on the road at Stanford. Oh, boy. This might be a name your score game for Oregon. Stanford is horrendous. Southern Cal put up 49 points on Stanford in the first half a couple of weeks ago when they played. Hard for me to see a way for Stanford to stay in this game, even through the first quarter. I'll take Oregon to win big on the road at the Tree. Iowa State at Oklahoma. Don't look now, but Oklahoma's undefeated. Oklahoma has a top 5 offense and a top 5 defense. But shh, don't look now. We'll wait till next week. Pay attention to them when they play Texas, right? That'll be a great game. I hope Texas and Oklahoma, as a college football fan, I hope Texas and Oklahoma both win this week. So we get a huge Red River shootout game next week between Texas and Oklahoma. They're both big favorites today. Texas and Oklahoma are, and they're both at home. So should both win. What else do we got? Notre Dame at Duke, 7:30 on ABC. Might be the game of the day. Notre Dame, heartbreaking last-second, really, loss last week at home to something called Ohio State. Notre Dame felt so bad for Ohio State. They played defense with 10 players. Didn't work out. Ohio State scores, wins the game. Now Notre Dame's got to get over that, put it behind them, move on, and get ready to play Duke at Duke in what is probably going to be the biggest home game in the history of Duke football. 7:30 on ABC. I hope that's a good game. South Carolina on the road at Tennessee, 7:30. SEC Network, Tennessee. Every gimmick in the book. Another week, another uniform combination. The Halloween-looking deals, even though it's still September. Maybe are they doing the spooky Rocky Top? Who knows? Are they going to checker Neyland? Who knows? Do you have to go to some website, type in your seat number that tells you what color shirt to wear if you're going to that game? Who knows? Are they checkering the end zones? Who knows? Are they beating South Carolina? Probably. Probably. At home at night. Spencer Rattler has been on fire. Probably the best quarterback in the SEC through the first 4 weeks of the season, Spencer Rattler. And he lit this team up last year like a fucking Christmas tree. What did he have, 6 touchdown passes or something last year against Tennessee? They put up 63 points on him. This is Tennessee's Super Bowl this year. Tennessee and their fans have had this game circled. This is the biggest game of the year for Tennessee because they actually have a chance to win it. They don't have a chance to win against Bama or Georgia, so they've just given up on trying to pretend like those are big games, and they've put all their eggs into the South Carolina basket. As embarrassing as that is, it's true. This is how far the Tennessee man has fallen 4 weeks into the season. They hate Joe Milton. They want him benched, even though all offseason they told us he was winning the Heisman and going 100-0, and Josh Heupel offense, plug and play. Bazooka Joe, he can throw the ball. Louis can throw the ball 90 yards from his knees. Yeah, that's amazing, but he can't complete an 11-yard slant, dummy. Michigan State at Iowa, 7:30. As long as Michigan can score more than 3 points, they'll win that game. Can Michigan State score more than 3? No, Iowa will win. Pitt at Virginia Tech. man, somebody has to win this game. These are two horrendous ACC teams. There's about 6 teams. I'm serious. There's 5 or so teams if you were to make a list of the worst 10 teams in the Power 5, 5 or 6 of them are in the ACC. These are 2 of them. West Virginia at TCU. West Virginia already won about as many games as I thought they would win all year. I think they won 2 games now. I think I had them at 3-9. But they're a little bit better than most people thought they would be. Can they win on the road at TCU? I don't know. Tough task there. Alabama at Mississippi State, 9 p.m. on ESPN. Mississippi State is either the worst or second worst team in the SEC, behind only Vandy. It's either Mississippi State or Vandy, worst team in the SEC. Bama should roll. Washington at Arizona. Shout out to Zona Tucson, man. Potential for a huge upset here if Arizona could pull it off. Unfortunately, Washington is playing at another level right now, especially at quarterback and wide receiver. Michael Penix looks like the best college football player in the country. Washington has 3 wide receivers averaging over 100 yards a game. 3. So good luck trying to pick one to cover. They got 2 more that can burn you on the other side. It's unreal what they're doing right now. Playing pretty good defense, too, for the most part. There you go. That is a run-through of the schedule of games coming up today. Trucking with Jeter. Wow, that is a very generous super chat, sir. I really appreciate that. Thank you for helping to support the channel, man. That means a lot. Wow. He says, win or lose, a Gator fan through and through. Thanks for bringing us great content as usual. Go Gators. Yeah, good luck today, Jeter. I did decide to pick Florida for whatever that's worth. So, I don't know. How have I done picking Florida games this year? I was right on the Utah game. I was wrong on the Tennessee game. I picked Tennessee. Y'all actually beat them. And now I'm picking Florida. So this is kind of, the Charlotte games and that shit don't count. Everybody knows you're going to win those. But of the 3 Power 5 games, I'm 1-1 picking Florida games. I got the Utah game right. I got the Tennessee game wrong. So I'm either going to be 1-2 or 2-1 after today. I think it'll be a good game. I think Florida pulls off a close win on the road, though. We'll see. Thank you again for that super chat. That's very generous. Nick Koenig, thank you for the super chat, buddy. I really appreciate you helping to support the show. Good to see you in here again. He says, I think Miami has one this year the same as Georgia Tech uniform. Black uniforms with glow-in-the-dark numbers. I'll have to see about that. Slim Shady Canes, you know anything about that? Shout out to the Charmin Soft cult leader and his W2. That's right. Shout out to Soft and Balls. He's more than willing to show you his W2 from YouTube, which YouTube doesn't send out W2s, so I'd be curious to see what it is he would show if anyone actually cared to see it. Why he keeps running around talking about his YouTube W2 is beyond me. But again, consider the source. Donald Walker, thank you for hitting the super chat to help support the show. Donald Walker, hope you're having an amazing Saturday. Yeah, Penix with the right franchise would be good in the NFL. Yeah, I don't know about that or particularly even care. College, being good at one doesn't necessarily translate to the other, but as far as college football goes, there's nobody doing it better than Michael Penix right now. Octavian says Lou is a Gator. Is he, though?
He's a Florida man, Lou.
Maybe he is. I don't know. Or care to know, too. Good morning, fish and football. Yeah. I feel bad for BBD having to get slapped with a tortilla full of mustard after they lose tonight. Yeah, I don't know anything about that. Napier is 1-6 in road games. If we lose today, I'm going to have some serious issues. Don't you already have some serious issues? Or no? I thought you had some issues there. Thought you had some issues. I don't know. I care, go Eagles. You care about what? You care if being a good college quarterback translates to being a good NFL quarterback, or I don't understand. I don't understand what you're saying you care about. You care if Michael Penix is going to be a good quarterback in the NFL? Is that what you're saying? What is on the menu today? You know what? I'm glad you asked. Went out to eat last night. Y'all know I'm not big on Italian, but I do like calzones and strombolis and that. And I don't even know what made me think about it, but I was like, let's go somewhere and get a calzone or stromboli or something. So anyway, we went out to eat last night at this a local place. The Pizza Joint is the name of it. And anyway, you know, you ordered a stromboli. It's this damn big. Can't eat but half of it. So brought that home. So got that another half of a stromboli to heat up at some point today if I want to. Now for dinner, we're actually cooking a meal today for dinner, which is a little unusual. We usually if I'm going to do some type of a meal on game day, it's ordered in, you know, a delivery, Uber Eats or whatever the case. But we're actually going to cook a meal here today. Baked pork chops, collard greens, and French fries. Yes, you heard that correctly. Baked pork chops, collard greens, and French fries. And then I also have mozzarella sticks and jalapeno poppers to make as snacks at varying points throughout the day. So that's pretty much the plan for Uncle Lou today when it comes what's on the menu. But what are y'all eating today? What are y'all eating today? Chiquita says, love stromboli. Yeah. Manny's eating crow. Manny, where you been hiding, buddy? Where you been hiding, Manny? Notre Dame man still punching the air. Yes, he is. They're big mad. They're not going to take it anymore. Floby says fries and tenders. What, chicken, like chicken tenders? Jeter's eating Chinese today. Bulldog Brian's having chicken. Sam is eating hot wings. Man, you can't go wrong. There's certain things that are just, like, if you wake up Saturday morning and you made no plans all week on what you were going to eat, you hadn't gone to the store, you hadn't prepared anything, whatever, there's a couple of things that are just like go-to things and you just can't go wrong. And at or near the top of that list is chicken wings, right? From wherever your favorite chicken wing place is in town. You just can't go wrong with that. King says Carolina Ale House. Well, you better get the chicken nachos. Don't thank me later. But if you're going to that's where I get my chicken nachos from that I eat all the time. If you're going to Carolina Ale House today, you better order the chicken nachos. You can thank me on that later, too. Stingray says smoked brisket sandwiches today. Ribs. Flatbread from Johnny's. Isn't flatbread just toast? Like, I don't know. Are you going to put anything on that bread? Maybe I'm confused on what flatbread is, but I don't know. Ribeye, steak, and potatoes. Now, there you go. Now, that's a dinner there. Marinated pork steak with baked potatoes. What is pork steak? What is pork steak? And isn't it one or the other? I don't know. How is it both? White chicken chili? Yeah, I'm going to say no on that. Is avocado toast even good? It sounds terrible. I have no idea. It sounds so terrible. I'm never going to try it. Steak from a pig? Yeah, that's called a pork chop, not a pork steak. Calling something, look, calling something a pork steak doesn't make it a steak. If that's what you're eating, it's a fucking pork chop, man. And there's nothing wrong with that. Pork chops are great. I'm eating pork chops today. I didn't come on here and pretend it's a steak. If I wanted steak today, I'd have got steak. And you should do the same. What do you... Pork steak. So you're eating a pork chop. That's amazing. I hope it's bone in. Other than that, you're wasting your time. But if it's a bone in pork chop, you're doing great. That's awesome. But just let us know that. Hey, I'm eating a 1-inch thick, grilled or baked or whatever it is, bone in pork chop. Don't come on here with I'm eating a pork steak. Huh? What? Come on, man. Come on, man. Eating that War Eagle today. Oh. Yeah. Deer meat sounds good, says James. No. 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 Charcoal says specifically Mediterranean flatbread pizza in that. Okay. All right. Is that healthy or something? Well, never mind. We're not going to turn the whole show into me just complaining about what people call their food. If you want to call, whatever. I don't eat stuff because it's healthy. I eat stuff that's good. Yeah, I eat because I'm hungry. Why I eat. I eat if I'm hungry, and I also eat things that are good. But Mediterranean flatbread pizza. Um, I, Bison meat is also good, but it's super lean. You must add oil or butter. Yeah. Yeah. Lou's new show, Uncle Lou's Culinary Corner. Yeah. Deer meat, the best. No, it's not. It's not. You know who likes deer meat? People who hunt. That's it. And they don't really like it that much. They just have to pretend to like it. Your average idiot is not running around. Your average idiot's not in the car right now headed to Publix hoping they have deer meat. Sorry, they're not. They're not. Think about it. Who tries to convince you that squirrel meat is good? Who tries to convince you of that? People that eat squirrel meat and shit. Those type of people. It's not good. It's not. It's not. If deer meat was the best meat, they'd have it at Applebee's, but they don't. They have steak and meatloaf. Think about it. Think about it. Real American Studio says might have to get high. That's the only way to enjoy watching Auburn play football. Well, at least it's a rivalry game today, so you got that going for you. You get to lose, losing this game will be more meaningful than losing to Texas A&M, you know. So at least there's that. Deer is not livestock. Nobody said, wasn't aware that anybody said deer was livestock. Wasn't aware of that. So I'm not sure who you're arguing with, but it's not me. Y'all do too much. It's always, look, if you have to go around convincing people how good something is, it ain't that good. If it was, everybody would already know. Trust me, man. Just try it. Trust me, man. Trust me. Trust me. Try this, man. No. That's like when people, you ever had, I know y'all have had this happen before. Somebody will go, oh my God, this stinks. Smell it. No. Why? That's like touching a stove twice. You just told me it stinks. So now you're telling me to smell it? No. You know what else stinks? Colorado. I'll take Southern Cal, lay the 21.5. Let's be a beat down here. You want to know a bet I really like in this game? I don't normally do this. Click on the halftime numbers. Where is the halftime number? Oh, hell. Fuck it. Game. Let's get off of there. Give me Southern Cal. Lay the points. Clemson at Syracuse. I liked this a lot better earlier. Earlier in the week, Clemson was favored by 6 or 6.5. And I liked Clemson to cover. I guess I still like Clemson to cover, but 7 is a dangerous number. You know, I'd rather have it at 6.5, obviously, but I still like Clemson to win today on the road against Syracuse. As many issues and problems as Clemson has, I don't think giving up on the season or throwing the towel in is going to be one of them. I still think you're going to get Clemson's best effort. I don't think they're just going to stop showing up. And I think Clemson's best effort is enough to beat Syracuse on the road today. Although this is a potentially dangerous game for the Taters, no doubt. Penn State, a 27-point road favorite at Northwestern. Always dangerous laying this amount of points in a conference game. I'm high, super high on Penn State. I just wouldn't bet this game. I think Penn State wins easily. 27 is just a lot of points. And Northwestern's bad. They are bad. Ding-a-ling car wash, no head coach. Florida at Kentucky. Kentucky by 1.5. I already told you I like Florida to win the game. So I'll take the 1.5 points in case it's something weird, 21-20, 24-23, 14-13, whatever the case. I'll take the 1.5, but I actually think Florida wins the game outright. But I expect that to be a pretty close game. Texas A&M at Arkansas. Texas A&M favored by 6 on the road at Arkansas. Quarterback Connor Wegman out for the season for Texas A&M. Max Johnson takes over. He came in last week against Auburn when Wegman got hurt and actually looked pretty good. Arkansas played what I think is their best game of the year this past week against LSU, but they came up a little short. I don't know. It's hard to trust Texas A&M's offense really to ever lay any points with them, but at Arkansas, I don't know. I'm gonna take Arkansas. I'll take Arkansas in the points. I don't know. It's hard to trust A&M. Virginia at Boston College in the somebody has to win game. These two teams here, Good God. The Boston College is so bad, they're tied with Clemson for last place in the ACC. That's how bad Boston College, if that tells you anything. Clemson and Boston College are tied for last place in the ACC. Virginia, they're close. I guess I'll just go with the home team. But, man, if you're betting on Virginia, Boston College, what kind of issues do you have? I don't know. Michigan at Nebraska. Michigan favored by 17.5. That Nebraska-Colorado game just completely biased me against Nebraska for the rest of the year. That offensive performance I saw in that game from Nebraska against a team, Colorado, that I knew at the time had no defense. It's been proven since then has no defense. Nebraska could not score on Colorado. Do you have any idea how bad your offense has to be that you can't score on Colorado? I think Michigan wins the game easily. Road game at Nebraska, I don't know that I would lay 17.5. Probably just stay away, but I think Michigan definitely wins that game. Georgia at Auburn. I'm taking Georgia to cover. I just think Auburn's offense is so bad. I like what I've seen so far from Carson Beck and Mike Bobo. I am a little bit worried about how Carson Beck and the offense will perform on the road, especially early in the game. But Auburn just can't do anything offensively. At least they haven't so far yet this season. I think Georgia wins this game somewhere in the neighborhood of, 30-13, 31-14, 35-17, 28-10, just something like that. I like Georgia to cover on the road at the barn. Kansas at Texas. Texas is a 16-point home favorite. Who do y'all think has a better chance of losing? Texas, Oklahoma, or Notre Dame? Texas is at home against Kansas. Oklahoma is at home against Iowa State. Notre Dame is on the road at Duke. Who do y'all think has a better chance of losing between those three? I think Texas wins this one. You already know Texas was one of my preseason playoff picks. That's not why I'm picking them in this game. I change my picks all the time during the season versus the preseason as games start being played and we gather more information. But I like Kansas. They're a fun team to watch. I really like watching their quarterback, and I will watch this game today. I mean, the Georgia game will be on at the same time, but this will be one of the other games I have on for sure. Will Texas or Oklahoma, either one, get caught looking ahead to next week's Red River rivalry? Can Duke pull off the massive upset at home over Notre Dame? I don't know. These are the reasons we watch college football. I mean, let's be real. It would not be the biggest shock in the world if one of those three teams lost today. We see upsets all the time. Hell, maybe it's Georgia. Is Georgia losing today? Does anybody think that? Is Auburn? It'd be one thing if just Georgia was better than Auburn, but Auburn had some type of offense. It's just I think Georgia's better. Just no offense at all from Auburn. So I find it hard to believe that Auburn could pull the upset off today. But it's college football. So I didn't even ask. But does anybody think Auburn can pull off the upset today? Indiana at Maryland. I'll take Maryland and lay the points. I like Maryland. They're not Ohio State, Penn State, or Michigan, and they sort of get forgotten in the Big Ten East. But Maryland is a above average team. Baylor at UCF. I already told you I like Gus Malzahn in that one. The goose is loose in Orlando. Give me Central Florida. Give me the Fighting Goose Malzahns to cover against Baylor. Ex-Auburn coach Goose Malzahn getting a win today. Current Auburn head coach Hugh Freeze getting a loss today. Illinois at Purdue. I bet against Purdue every week. They're not any good, so give me Illinois in the 1 point. Missouri at Vandy. I'm going to take Vandy in the 14. I do think Missouri will win the game, though. Missouri's got a couple of question marks today on the offense in terms of starters. I think their quarterback's a little nicked up. One of their wide receivers is a little nicked up. Latest reports I have heard is that they're expected to play. And hopefully they do. We never want to see anybody injured or have to sit out, so hopefully they do play. But I'm going to take Vandy into points because I'm an idiot and picked Vandy to win over 3.5 games this year. LSU at Ole Miss. I think LSU wins this game. I do not think it will be close. I don't trust Ole Miss as far as I can throw them. Lane Kiffin's the most overrated coach in the country. They laid a complete egg last week on the road at Alabama. Look, I'm not any kind of huge boxing fan, but when you're watching a boxing match and somebody gets hit in the head and they don't go down, but their knees start wobbling, what is that other fighter thinking? Now, take him out now. Bama's knees were wobbling. And Ole Miss went in there and laid an absolute fucking egg. Congratulations, Lane Kiffin. You played another big game, and you lost another big game. All you do is lose big games, Lane. And you're losing this one at home. Give me LSU. Lay the points. Oregon on the road at Stanford. Oregon. Huge. Iowa State at Oklahoma. Oklahoma's a 20-point favorite. 20 points. You know what? It ain't enough. I am a believer in Oklahoma. I am a believer. Top 5 offense in the country. Top 5 defense in the country. Give me the Sooners at home. Absolute beatdown on deck today. Notre Dame at Duke. This is down to 5.5 points. It's been back and forth, really, between 4.5 and 6.5. Settled right in the middle. I would not bet on this game. I'm going to pick Duke in the points. I am hoping it's a good game. As a college football fan who doesn't have a rooting interest one way or the other in this game, I'm going to pick Duke to win and hope for a good game. Also, Duke is a good story. Duke's a good underdog story. They already knocked off Clemson in week 1. This would have to be the biggest win in program history for Duke, or one of them. Home game, college game day is there, prime time. I mean, there have not been very many times that Duke has been in this position where they're playing a game of the week in week 5 of the college football season, where they're undefeated. They're hosting Notre Dame. I mean, it's hard to imagine it getting any bigger than this for Duke. How will they respond to that? We'll find out tonight. Riley Leonard's going to have to put on one hell of a show, and Duke's defense is going to have to play out of their mind. But we'll see. South Carolina's an 11.5-point road underdog at Tennessee. Tennessee, significant favorite here. Gimmick uniforms tonight for Tennessee. 5th game of the year, 5th different uniform for Tennessee. This has the possibility of being the funniest loss of the week if Tennessee loses, because this is their Super Bowl. They have put all their eggs into the South Carolina basket. They have circled this game. They have talked about it nonstop. It's a revenge game. It's a home game at night with a gimmick uniform. This has potential to be the funniest loss of the week if Tennessee finds a way to lose. Unfortunately, I don't think that happens. I think Tennessee wins the game. Spencer Rattler's playing out of his mind, but there's just not a lot other than that going on around him at South Carolina. Xavier Leggett has been good at wide receiver, and he'll probably be good today, but they've had a hard time running the ball, South Carolina has. They struggle to stop the run, which, believe it or not, is Tennessee's strength, running the ball. Joe Milton's pretty much a trash can with a cannon for an arm, but can't complete an 11-yard slant. But Tennessee probably wins this one. Michigan State at Iowa. I actually like Iowa, and I'd even lay the points here. I know Iowa can't score, but Michigan State can't do anything at all. I like Iowa to win and cover. West Virginia on the road at TCU. TCU a 13.5-point favorite. I'm taking TCU in that one. Pitt at Virginia Tech, again, with the ACC. And just there's 4 or 5 teams in the ACC. If you make a list of the 10 worst Power 5 teams, at least half of them are ACC teams. Here's another 2, Pitt and Virginia Tech. Just 2 horrific. If you watch this game and you're not a Pitt or Virginia Tech fan, what are you doing? What are you doing? You know who would watch this game even though they're not a fan of Pittsburgh or Virginia Tech? The same type of person that would eat a pork chop but call it a steak. Alabama at Mississippi State. Alabama favored by 14.5. I think they win by twice that. I think Mississippi State is the second worst team in the SEC. Alabama absolutely rolls. 300 yards rushing. Washington at Arizona. Shout out to Zona Tucson, man. Washington's been on a roll. A lot of people talking about Washington this week and how they might be the best team in college football. You know what that means. Arizona covers the 19.5. No one has paid any attention to Washington. Now everybody talks about them all week. What does that mean? People are going to watch them now. They'll watch them tonight, and they'll struggle. I've seen it a million times. Give me Arizona in the 19.5. There you go. There you go. All the latest odds, lines, etc. That's how you make and lose money betting on football right there. That's how you make and lose money betting on football right there. Clint Eastwood, thank you for the super chat. He says, where in the hell is Nate? He's fishing. Nate's gone fishing. He don't care about this Nebraska-Michigan game. Chris Van Oy, thank you for the super chat. He says, I'm throwing some ribs and wings on the smoker. Go Vols. Love what you do, Lou, and God bless America and college football. I think everybody can agree with that. Thank you, Chris. Thank you, Clint. Dylan says, I hate Barn as much as you do South Carolina. Wow. Yeah, that's a lot then. That's a lot then. Nicholas Tylenol. What? Okay. He says, the people who say deer meat is good remind me of the people who try to convince you that Deion Sanders is a good coach. Slim Shady Kane says, my football takes better than Uncle Lou food takes. Yeah. And you keep eating your deer meat. The rest of us will keep eating good food. BDW Bomb says, Vols aren't ready for the wrath of Rattler. Well, they weren't ready last year. That's 100% accurate. He absolutely lit them up last year. I mean, that was bad. That was painful to watch. Almost. I'm not going to lie. I got a little bit of joy out of it. I can't lie. As much as I hate South Carolina, at that point in the season last year after, it's hard to even remember now. I guess, especially since Tennessee took an embarrassing beatdown to Florida already this year. But do y'all remember how loud and obnoxious Tennessee fans were on the internet last season between beating Bama and losing to Georgia? It was a 2 or 3 week period, whatever it was, between beating Bama and losing to Georgia. You couldn't go anywhere on the entire internet without dribble from Tennessee fans. It was unreal. Every single YouTube call-in show was just one Tennessee fan after another, back to back to back. Tennessee fan, Tennessee. It was unbelievable. I've never seen anything like it. Never seen anything like it. Bandwagons and fair weathers usually develop over the long term. You know what I mean? Like with Alabama, right? Like Alabama fans didn't just show up like immediately in 2008 when Bama finally had a good year. You know, it sort of happened over time. They slowly added to the bandwagon over time. Tennessee made that field goal against Alabama last year 5 minutes later, there was 3 million new Tennessee fans on the internet. It was unbelievable. I've never seen anything like it. Never seen anything like it. And they were loud and obnoxious and ignorant. Now, I'm not talking about all Tennessee fans. I'm talking about the ones that jumped in head first out of nowhere the minute they beat Bama. Then the Georgia game happened. You know, I still don't think Georgia or Uncle Lou got the thanks or the credit that we deserved for shutting the Tennessee fans up last year. Because there was two types of people around college football on the internet between Tennessee beating Bama and losing to Georgia. There was Tennessee fans, and there was people who were tired of hearing from Tennessee fans. That's it. Georgia did the entire college football world a favor. Jack Kevorkian style on Tennessee's hopes and dreams. And I don't feel like Georgia or myself got the credit we deserve, because I played a big hand in that, obviously. I had a lot to do with that beatdown. Georgia beat down the Vols on the field, no doubt about it. I wasn't there. I didn't play in the game. But I beat down the Vol fans verbally. And I just feel like me and Georgia don't get the credit we deserve for that. Eric Odom says, go Dogs. Go Dogs, Eric. I love hot sauce on my homemade breakfast burritos. Eggs, cheese, low-carb tortillas, maybe bacon and hash to spruce them up. Any other ideas? I like hot sauce on almost anything. Almost anything. Did someone really give $100? I know it's an optical illusion. It's an editing trick. I use hot sausage on my breakfast burrito, says Marie. I don't like hot sausage. I like mild. I mean, I wouldn't not eat something that I otherwise would eat just because it had hot sausage in it instead of mild. But if I was making it myself, I would use mild instead of hot. Cholula or Tabasco? I like Tabasco. I like Texas Pete. Those are probably my two favorites. Lou, you need a whoopity fucking do t-shirt. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. I do. You're right, actually. In fact, I'm going to make that happen. And that's all it's going to say. It's just going to say, whoopity fucking do. That's it. That's a great idea, Colby. That's a great idea. I will have that shirt designed sometime in the next day or two. And I will be wearing it in about 2 weeks. Thank you. That's a great idea. Whoopity fucking do. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do that. Yeah. Frank's Red Hot is the most universal hot sauce. Change my mind. I would disagree that it's the most universal. I think Tabasco or Texas Pete is the most universal. If you know the whole Family Feud deal. If you went to the mall or Walmart and you asked 100 people to name a hot sauce, I don't think Frank's Red Hot would be the number one answer. Captain Trips, if we don't, I'm hiring you as the OC. Okay, I don't know what that's about. Do you want to try out for UJ field goal kicker? No, I don't. I've got neither the time nor the inclination. I'm way too busy, and much too important to be kicking field goals for UGA. Don't have time. Don't have time. Don't have time. How would I sit here every Saturday and yell at the TV for 12 hours if I've got to be in Athens or Auburn or Knoxville or wherever else kicking field goals? I don't have time for that. I don't have time for that. Sorry, but I don't. I don't. All right, we're about 10 minutes or so away from the rigged wheel. So if you want to get your name on the wheel, make sure you get it sent in. Cash App or PayPal only. I can't do super chats on the giveaways. So I apologize for that. I know some people don't have or like Cash App and PayPal. I get it, and that's okay. I can't do the giveaways through the super chats because of the amount of money YouTube steals from them. But everybody that has sent a Cash App or a PayPal, we're going to add your name to the wheel here in a few minutes. I haven't added any names yet, so I'll pull up here in about 10 minutes, I guess about 10:30. I'll pull up the PayPal list, and then I'll pull up the Cash App list, and we'll go through, and I'll add the names to the wheel one by one. Then we will spin the wheel and try to give some money away. So there you go. There's the links to the Cash App and the PayPal for those of you who are interested. If game comes down to a kick, good luck. Let me make a couple of polls here because I'm just who wins? Or no, let's do this. Best chance to lose. Let's see. How do I want to word this poll? Best chance to lose. Let's go. Notre Dame, Georgia, Texas, Oklahoma. Just curious. Best chance to lose. You can only vote for one. There you go. Vote in the poll. Not that you think they'll necessarily will lose, but which of those four teams do you think has the best chance of losing today? I think it could be a tricky spot for Notre Dame just because they're coming off of that emotional, last-second home loss in a huge game. Now you got to turn around. Here's the thing. I don't think Notre Dame looks at this Duke game and goes, oh, man, this is a massive game. They did last week, right, at home, Ohio State. Everybody's watching. Game day was there. Duke does look at this as a massive game. You get game day to come to Duke, you're doing something right. So I think Duke looks at this game the same way everybody looked at last week's Notre Dame-Ohio State game. And it seems like a dangerous spot for Notre Dame. Now, with that being said, I think they probably still win the game, but it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting. That's for sure. My son Jackson, who is 4 months old, says that Auburn don't have a chance against Georgia, says Jody Jordan. He sounds like maybe a pretty smart 4-month-old there, because I tend to agree with him about Auburn not having much of a chance today. Muff Diver Boy says, honestly worried about Georgia. Really depends on which version of the team shows up today. And Jordan Hare sucks to play in. Yeah, Auburn's just got no offense, though. Even if a bad version of Georgia shows up, I think they win an ugly game. 17-10, 21-10, 21-13, 14-10, something like that. But I don't see how Auburn scores more than 20. I don't think they'll get to 20. They might not get to 10. I don't know. Chris says, I'm going with Texas. They always lose one or two. They shouldn't. I live in Texas now, so it's fun to watch the crying. God. I don't expect Auburn to score more than 10 points. Georgia should cover, in my opinion, says Broski. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking. Even if some of our fears come true about Georgia playing on the road and Carson Beck with his first road start, and he makes a mistake or two, or he looks uncomfortable, or he's nervous, or he's rattled. So what does that mean? Georgia goes 3 and out, punts it. Auburn gets the ball and does what? I mean, what? And now, unless Carson throws a pick six, special teams touchdown for Auburn, something like that. It's just hard for me to imagine Auburn's offense just moving up and down the field on Georgia. It's just hard for me to see that. Just like I said, just because they've been so bad. So bad. Give me Kansas or Oklahoma. Texas will lose one of these two. Kansas over overrated Texas. Hey, Lou, what's the big thing Mizzou has to do today to get the W? Not shoot themselves in the foot. I mean, Vandy's not any good. Missouri's a better team. Mizzou's the home team, I believe, too, aren't they? I mean, it would take mistakes for Mizzou to lose this game. Several of them. There should be some weekly prize for the funniest screen names. Your channel has the best of them. There are some unbelievable names floating around the comment section of this channel. That is true. And yeah, you're right. It's always been that way. Lou, what time is Patreon today? Let me look on the bottom of the screen. Let's see. Week 5 schedule. Saturday, 12 p.m. on YouTube. Saturday, 3:30 p.m. on Patreon. Link in description. 3:30. 3:30, Smata. We will be streaming all the 3:30 games on Patreon. Where's that at? There you go. Oh, hell. Stop it. There we go. Yeah, right here. There you go. That's the link to the Patreon page if you want to check it out. Now a link to the Patreon live stream. Patreon works kind of like a Facebook page or a Twitter page. So I make a post and then you can comment on it and all that shit. And the most recent post is always the first post on the page. So if you go to the Patreon page at around 3:15 or 3:20, you'll see a post. It's not on there yet. You'll see it at 3:15 or 3:20. It'll say Week 5 Patreon stream, and there'll be a link. You just click that link. Switch the YouTube stream from noon to prime time. No, I'm gonna stream at noon. Now I might stream the prime time games as well. I may also stream the prime time games. But I'm definitely streaming the noon games. How much is Patreon? There's different levels on the Patreon page. You have to go. If you click on the link, it tells you what the different levels are. I don't have them memorized. There's different levels over there on Patreon. I think it's $10 a month for the one that is the live streams. You have to go over there and look. Colby, a few days ago, I did a minute last night to a spammer. What? How does that work now? Who can I time out that won't get mad? YouTube changed their you know how you can time people out in the comment section or whatever? YouTube changed that. And I haven't timed anybody out, so I don't know what it looks like when you do that now. Let's see, who can I time out that won't get mad? Because I'm literally just doing this out of curiosity. Let's see, Colby won't get mad. So it looks the same. It just so what if I click put user in timeout? What then I get to choose how long? Let's see. No. It didn't give me a choice. It didn't give me a choice. It did the same thing it always does. I clicked on his name. It said put user in timeout. I clicked it, and then it put him in timeout. It didn't give me a choice on how long. Does it give you all the choice when you do it? Huh? Does it only work on a cell phone or something?
I don't know. Weird.
Let me see. What are the choices?
You can do like 10 seconds, 1 minute, 5 minutes, 10
I have to put user in timeout first and then choose?
Mm-hmm.
All right, who else? Let me try somebody else. Let's try Jay Shipes this time. All right, Jay. You're the guinea pig this time. Put user in timeout. Okay, now it lets me choose. It won't let me do it from my computer though. That's ridiculous.
That is ridiculous. That's only
It only lets me do it from my phone, but yeah, 10 seconds, 1 minute, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 30 minutes, 24 hours. I'm going to tell y'all right now, if I find out any moderator is timing somebody out for 5 minutes, I don't know what, this is YouTube's fucking problem. They fix problems that don't exist. This was not a problem. What? You know what a problem is? Moderators timing people out for 24 hours. That's a problem. Because here's what else. You still can't undo it. If I find out anybody has timed somebody out for 24 hours, your moderator rights will be gone permanently. Don't do that. I'm dead serious. Don't ever time anybody out for any amount of time other than 5 minutes. Don't ever do that. For those of y'all that don't know what the fuck we're talking about, moderators can put people in timeout if they're saying something they shouldn't say in the chat or whatever. And forever, when you put them in timeout, it just means they can't comment for 5 minutes. That's it. It's not the end of the world. Now, sometimes people get upset about it, but it's not the end of the world. Well, now they've changed it to where you have an option of timing them out for like 1 minute, 10 minutes, whatever, all the way up to 24 hours. And the problem is, once somebody is put in timeout, it can't be undone. I can't even undo it as the owner of the channel. So like if one of these moderators, like let's say Marie, accidentally times somebody out for 24 hours, there's nothing anybody can do to fix that. That person's just gone for 24 hours. It's fucking ridiculous. I love YouTube. They've done a lot for me. I don't and it's not just YouTube. All big companies are this way. They spend way too much time trying to fix problems that don't exist. There's not a soul on planet Earth that has been running around going, man, I sure do wish I could time somebody out for 24 hours instead of just 5 minutes. No, if you're so mad that you want to put somebody in timeout for 24 fucking hours, then just block them from the channel. And you can't undo it. This is a classic case of, and again, this applies to a lot of big companies and organizations. There's somebody somewhere at YouTube or Google or whatever, or some department somewhere with, 10 people in it. And all 10 of these people are making an ungodly amount of money. All 10 of these people probably make $200,000 a year. And their only job, these 10 people, is to fix problems. Well, guess what happens if there's no problems to fix for an extended period of time? Guess what happens? Oh, we ain't got no use for you. You're gone. So what do? They create problems that don't exist and then fix them. And then they show up in a meeting and they go, hey, did you see we fixed the timeout problem? And everybody's sitting around going, what timeout problem? Oh, you know how you can only time out people for 5 minutes? And everybody's going, well yeah, but I didn't know that was a problem. And the people that make $200,000 a year to solve problems are going, oh, it was a huge problem, but we fixed it. They're patting each other on the head and shit. I'm so proud of you. Oh, I'm so proud of you. You solved the problem. Yes, you did. You solved the problem. Yes, you did. It's ridiculous, man. Aren't you just a little problem solver? Ooh. Ridiculous. All right. Let's get this rigged wheel done. Now that you done got me all kinds of hyped up. Y'all done got me big mad now. Y'all done got me huge mad. All right, so if you want to get your name on the wheel, now's your last chance to do it. Once I'm done adding these names to the wheel, that's going to be it. Once I am done adding these names to the wheel, that's going to be it. All right. Let's start adding names. Hogman wants his name on the wheel. Say less, Hogman. Hom-man? No. Hog. Man. Hoghead. Thank you, Hoghead. Let's see who else wants on the wheel today. Swaggy Man says, hey, put me on the wheel. You know I got you, Swaggy Man. Swaggy Man. Don't know why. I don't know why Hogman is one word, but Swaggy Man is two words. Now, keep in mind, I made both of these names up. That's neither one of these people's names. This is just what I call them. But I don't know why I decided that Hogman would be one word, but Swaggy Man would be two. Don't know why I did that, but I did. Thank you, Hogman and Swaggy Man. I got both your names added to the wheel. Yep. Carter N. Not going to say your full name. In case the government is listening, which I'm pretty sure that they are, but thank you, Carter N. I've been watching your channel for 5 years. I really enjoy the content. I got A&M to beat Arkansas. Yeah, I like that one too. Thank you, Carter. I really appreciate it, buddy. Thank you for helping to support the channel, man. It means a lot. Oh, here we go. Travis Turnbow. What's up, Turnbow? We're going to spell it as wrong as we can. There we go. Turnbow. Spell it as wrong as possible. Colby. Colby likes UGA to cover. So does Uncle Lou. I like that too. Thank you, Colby. Is that Swaggy Man again? Yes. Oh, he's telling me what team he wants that time. I got you, Swaggy Man. I got you. Say less, as the kids would say. All right, let's see. That's the PayPal. Let's do the Cash App. Make sure we get everybody's name on here. And then we're going to spin this damn wheel. Is that understood? Let's see. Where are we at here? Right here. Bulldog JC. Bulldog JC. Thank you for supporting the show. We've got you on the wheel, sir. Is this Neo? Mr. Anderson. I think that's Neo. Either that or it's a different Mr. Anderson. Either way, we'll put Neo down. As long as I know who it is, that's all that matters. Joshua B. Joshua B. Thank you, Joshua B. Got you in on the wheel. Eric O. likes Rudy today. Good luck, Eric. Thank you for helping to support the show, buddy. He likes Notre Dame. Georgia's best. Georgia's best. Got you on the wheel. Thank you for supporting the show through Cash App, sir. Good luck. What else do we have going on here in that and two? Bruce. We're going to call you Bruce Almighty. See, with Cash App and PayPal, a lot of times it's got people's like actual name on there, and I don't like to say people's actual names because some people just don't want that information out there. So I make shit up. So thank you, Bruce Almighty, Hog Man, Swaggy Man, Turn Bow, and whatever other names I made up. Bruce Almighty, whatever the names I made up. Thank y'all for helping to support the college kickoff show every Saturday morning. But now it's time to give away some money, or try to anyway. It is time to give away some money, or at the very least, try to. If I can get it pulled back up again. There we go. What do I need? Well, you already know what I need. I need a number. Well, I need a name. Let's go with Texas Rocks. Texas Rocks, I need a number between 3 and 5, sir. A number between 3 and 5, Texas Rocks. Any number will do, as long as it's between 3 and 5. Did y'all see the Las Vegas Sphere opened up last night? They had the first show there. Have y'all seen that? That giant ball that they built in the middle of Las Vegas? I guess U2 performed. Texas Rock says 3. Texas Rock says 3. All right. So what that means, we're going to spin the wheel 3 times. The third name will be the winner. Good luck, and thank you to everybody for helping to support the show this morning. Hogman. Spin number 2. Nah. Ooh, that was a close one. Eric O. All right, here we go. Spin number 3. And today's lucky winner is, good luck, everybody, Bruce Almighty. Bruce, I'm not sure what your YouTube name might be. I do know you're a Georgia fan because your Cash App message says "Go Dogs." Do you? Is that who you want to pick today? You're gonna have to let me know. I'll tell you what I'm gonna do. If I don't hear from you, I'm gonna put you down for Georgia minus 14.5. Yeah, that's what we will do. Let's see if he's in here. If I don't see him in here, then since I know he's a Georgia fan because he typed "Go Dogs" in the chat, I mean in the Cash App note. What am I even looking for? These are not the droids I'm looking for. Here we go. Here we go. Week 5. Wheel. Bruce. All right, Bruce. I still don't see him in here. I'm going to put him down for Georgia minus 14.5 because the only thing I know is that he's a Georgia fan because he literally typed "Go Dogs" in the Cash App notes. So good luck, Bruce. Thank you for helping to support the show. Thank all of you and the Super Chats, too. I wish I could add the Super Chats to the giveaways. I just can't. But Wotod99, Dylan Deloney, Eric Odom, Clint Eastwood, Chris Van Noy, Nicholas Tylenol, Slim Shady Canes, BDW Bomb, Real American Studios, Charkled, not sure which, Nick Koenig, Donald Walker, Trucking with Jeter. I really appreciate y'all hitting the super chat as well to help support the channel. And, of course, all of you on the rigged wheel as well. Thank y'all for supporting the show through Cash App and PayPal. All right, good luck, everybody. I hope all of your teams win today, unless, of course, you're an Auburn fan. I need you to catch the giant L today. Other than that, I hope all your teams win. I really do. Have a great college football Saturday. Be safe if you're out and about at the games today. What does that say? I don't even know what that says. Be safe if you're out and about at these games today. Enjoy your college football Saturday. I'll be right back here on this channel at noon to live stream all the early games. So if you're watching the noon games today, come on back to the channel and hang out with us at 12 o'clock. All right, everybody.